Let us start with the first feature, that is pizza. And let me tell you, this will be one of the important lecture because in this I will be showing you how to define actions and reducers for our pizza feature. So first step, inside this pizza folder, I am going to create one file. I will write pizza slice.js. Okay, this is the naming convention which we follow in Redux Toolkit. Our file name should be having the suffix as slice. Okay, don't forget to give this slice whatever feature we are having, feature name slice.js. In Redux, what we have seen for action type, for action creator, for reducer, we have created separate file. But in Redux Toolkit, the suggested way is to group all the reducer logic and actions for a single feature in single file. So in single file, I am going to define reducer and action. After creating the file, inside this, first we have to import create slice from Redux Toolkit. Now we are still in Node.js environment, so I'm just going to use required keyword. But later on, when we start with React, then we are going to use ES6 import and export. Here, I will be creating the variable create slice is equal to required. Inside this, I have to pass Redux Toolkit, and from this Redux Toolkit, I just have to access this create slice method. Okay, simple enough. I'm just requiring this package, and from that package, I'm just accessing this create slice method. Once we have access to this method, below this, I'm just going to invoke this method. And whatever value we are going to get from this, we are just going to assign to a variable. Here I will write const. I will give the variable name as pizza slice. And this create slice will be accepting an object of options. So here I'm just going to pass this object. Okay, you simply have to open this curly braces. Inside this, we are going to specify three properties. First will be the name of the slice. So here you have to write name, and name of the slice is nothing but pizza. Okay, this is the first property which I have defined inside this create slice. First, name of the slice, and that is nothing but pizza. Second, I'm just going to define initial state. As of now, in my application, I have not defined initial state. So here, above this pizza slice, I'm just going to create initial state, const initial state, and state is nothing but it is an object. Inside that, I'm just going to give pizza base, and by default, in my shop, I'm having 1000 pizza base. Same way how we have created state in Redux, same way I'm just going to create the state. And this initial state I will be passing as second property inside this create slice. So this is the property, and for this I'm just going to assign this initial state. But here if you see, we have same name for property and key. So in JavaScript, using ES6 shorthand notation, if our key and value is same, then simply I'm just going to remove this. Why? Because if we are having same name, then two times you do not have to write. If you write only one time, it is simply like we are writing key value pair. Then finally, third property, we are going to define our reducer function. Here I will write reducer. Okay. You should not only write reducer, instead you should be writing reducers. Why? Because inside this we can add multiple reducers, and one reducer will be there for each of the actions which we are going to define in this pizza shop. So this is my key. This reducer will be taking object as its value, and inside this object we are going to specify individual state transition. Now just take a moment and go back to Redux example. There we have defined reducer. Inside that we are having switch statement, and then we have given the case as order pizza and order burger. When my action is order pizza, I am decreasing the pizza base by 1. If my action is order burger, then I am just decreasing the burger buns by 1. But here in Redux Toolkit, instead of writing switch statement, instead of writing different cases, everything will be handled behind the scene. So here inside this, I'm just going to specify pizza order. Okay, this is nothing but property inside this reduces key. So now here what I have done, I have created my first reducer pizza order, but in Redux Toolkit, this will be considered as action creator. And we already know reducer is nothing but a function. So here similar way, I'm just going to pass as a function. This is nothing but property. So inside this value, I am passing this function which will be taking current state and action as its argument. Here I am just going to define arrow function. If this was Redux application inside reducer, we were using switch statement, then we were adding cases, then inside that first we would have copied our entire state, and later on whatever properties I want to update, only those properties I will be updating. But in Redux Toolkit, what we will do directly, I'm just going to update the state. So here I will be writing state dot, I just want to update this pizza base, and whenever I'm just dispatching pizza order, I just want to decrease this pizza base by 1. So here I'm just using decrement operator. Each and every time when I dispatch this action, I'm just going to decrease the pizza base by 1. So inside this reducer, I have defined my first reducer pizza order, where I have passed state and action as its argument, and inside that I am just returning state dot pizza base minus minus. Now in this example, I do not need action, so you can simply ignore this action. And if you just compare with Redux, in Redux we used to assign this state to initial state, but in Redux Toolkit we are not going to assign. Now you can see we have reduced lot of boilerplate code. We have not created any action type. We have not created action creator. Separately inside reducer, we are not using switch statement, and also we are not passing default case. Everything is handled by Redux Toolkit. So inside this create slice, you have to specify three properties: name of the slice, initial state, and then you have to specify the reducer. And for this reducer, we are going to pass object as its value. Now below this, I will simply log this pizza slice, save it, open terminal, clear this. Now this pizza slice is present inside features folder. So first, I'm just going to come inside this features. Then I will come inside this pizza folder. Now I'm just going to execute this node pizza slice.js. Hit enter. Now you can see what it has given. Using this create slice, first I'm having name of the slice. Then you can see I'm having this reducer, and reducer is nothing but function. And inside that reducer, whatever I have added, that will be treated as action creator. You can see that will be treated as action creator. So this pizza order will be treated as action creator, and we already know action creator is nothing but it is a function. So that is the reason we are passing function. And then finally we are having action type, and that is nothing but pizza slash pizza order. Now how we got this? This pizza is nothing but name of the slice, and slash pizza order is nothing but name of the action creator. So in this way, our action type will be defined by Redux Toolkit. So here we are having name of the slice, then we are having reducer function, then inside that you can see this is nothing but actions, and inside that we are having our action creator, and then type is defined by passing slice name and action creator name. All these things you do not have to worry, but only thing you should remember, behind the scene, Redux Toolkit is able to manage entire thing. It is able to create action creators, action type, reducers. It is able to handle default state. It is able to do almost entire thing by reducing lot of boilerplate code. Once we are having this, now this reducer and this action creators we will be using in other files. So first thing, we have to export this reducer and action creator. So for reducer, we are going to do default export. So here I'm just going to write module.export, and this is the syntax we are going to follow in Node.js environment whenever we are doing default export. Then this is my slice name. I will just write here pizza slice dot. Let me open, and you can see I am having reducer name reducer. I am having reducer, but while defining I have given reducers. So here you have to export this reducer. So inside this I am just going to pass this reducer. But while exporting, whatever we got from the create slice, that we have to export. Okay, this is the default export. Here I will write the comment default export. Now for action creator, I'm just going to do named export. So again, I will be writing module.exports. Now I have to give the name. Here simply I'm just going to specify pizza actions is equal to, then I will be writing pizza slice dot. Let me open terminal. Inside this actions, you can see inside this actions, I am having my action creators. So here pizza slice dot actions. So in this way, we are going to do default export of reducer and named export of action creators. I will write here named export. If you see here, we have reduced lot of boilerplate code, and we have already addressed the concerns which we had in Redux. And also, we have reduced importing additional libraries because Redux Toolkit abstract all the work from the developers. Successfully, we have created our first slice, that is pizza slice.